because I have a new headset. So I did not pick up the headset. Haha. I'm so clever. Haha. I did it. I figured it all out. Is this still working? Yes. Haha. I'm a genius. Okay. Ooh. Wonder if that's anything important. New game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ooh. I have a lot of options. Turn around, leave, go to the cabin. Sweet, I've always wanted. Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Do I get some sort of reward? Consider that maybe I'm okay with the world ending. Forget it, I'm not doing it. Okay.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
The sunk cost fallacy.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
I've heard that one before.
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Hmm. Alright, so these options down here advance me on. Let's save. You know what? No, let's do all
Doesn't?
these.
Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
I am alive.
If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I know. It was looking pretty hit or miss. But finally I have a weekday where people aren't fucking making me do something else. And I can play this game that I bought like a month ago or whenever it came out. Not even a full month ago. Welcome. Seamstresses do contribute something of value to society. He's right. Could someone else
if
do
only that
it?
were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Literally, when I saw this game and I heard Jonathan Sims' voice, I was like, I bet I know who likes this game. I'm glad I was right.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Oh, well. You're the narrator, Mr. Jonathan Sims. Can't you just change the narration?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Damn.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
How mad does he get if I say this? Let's find out.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Have you corrupted most of your friends? Corrupted is a... Have you spread the Magnus Archives to most of your friends? Or just these few ones now? And the other one previously? What a setting, though. Jesus. Was this on Halloween, or was this just a particular spooky occasion?
Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal.
This was today.
Smooth sailing.
You know, I don't know why I read the word TODY and didn't. That one's on me. A group thing that takes place
You
in a
make your way up
church.
the
I've heard of
short
those.
path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
This is a nice cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
If you didn't get them hooked with that as an introduction, it's a group for gay people in a church. That's cool. I'm glad you have a group for that.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay
That's
them.
me.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's a different him. That's a different me? Well, I feel like if they aren't hooked after listening to that episode, to
The interior
the
of
first
cabin is
episode
almost
in
entirely
a perfect
bare.
setting,
The air is stale and musty.
and they're gay,
the
I don't know what
floor
else
and
could get
walls
them
are
into it.
tinted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
It does look pretty pristine.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
That's right, I know how to play visual novels. Save often. In the first episode,
the
or
blade
they
from the
started Googling.
It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Ooh, now I'm holding a little knife.
The door to the basement creaks open,
Fan art will do that, of
revealing a
course.
staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
An Elias fan.
Her voice
Crazy.
carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
I expected this to also be Jonathan Sims. Like, a John Simp makes sense. Elias, well, either they're going to stay dedicated or they might change their mind. Who knows?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Afraid. A
Not
fair
fool.
reaction.
It's all part of the manipulation.
Honest. Friendly. Deception. You should always be honest.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
I was gonna ask, what do you mean by simpy comment? And then I immediately thought of a simpy comment,
You
and
walk down the stairs
I understood.
and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You should always be honest, specifically when you're there to kill somebody.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Jab, jab, jab. Be honest unless you're a spiral avatar. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. That's kind of part of the whole thing.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Damn. I'm sorry. Let's see, October. When was even the last time I streamed, actually? I don't even know. I just know I've been crazy busy. But a Michael Shelley-centric The Magnus Archives AU. That's so unlike you. What's... September? That sounds right. Yeah, October, I went away to a convention. I went to a haunted house. There was another show I went to. I think I went to a Hozier concert in October. That might have been end of September, though. Be very busy. Ah, I mean, he worked down there. It could have been anybody. Yeah, I saw Hozier. And by saw, I mean I was so very, very far away because this concert was packed. Save scum. Should we just go for it for the first try?
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
I don't disagree. I'm saying it's perfectly in line with the events. He could have easily become the archivist.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Ominous.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Just mildly oblivious as people get, like, sucked into a homophobic vase.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Well, the game's called Slay the Princess. And the option is slay the princess. Right? Am I mistaken? No, it's called Slay the Princess. I mean,
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh,
bluff called.
this is it, isn't it?
Oh, now I have blood on my little knife mouse.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
It's an interesting strategy,
It's
Miss
over,
the Princess.
isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
I made Sasha get distortioned in the end of season 1, and Michael just does not notice for months. like Sasha gets distortioned away, or becomes the distorted Sasha.
But is it over? Really over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Becomes
It's
the
over.
distortion. Got it.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Just me doing evil distortion things and my boss not noticing.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in, and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find
Shucks.
is nothing at all. Where a
Hold
lush
into the
forest
void
stood
again.
mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened?
Wow, there must be something wrong with that mirror. You know, minding your own business is an important trait for a boss.
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Mr. Jonathan Sims, this was not what you promised. You said I would get a gift better than any gift I could think of. Ooh, maybe I do like it. Sometimes you just don't notice things. It happens. Am I happy about being stuck here or am I mad about being stuck here? I'm kind of
What's
mad.
done is done, and there's no going back now. I'm sorry you don't like your reward, but maybe you'll learn to appreciate it in time. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or
I
months
do what Daddy
or
Jonathan
years
Sims
or
asks,
even
and I get
decades.
trapped in the void.
It's all a wonderful,
This sucks.
boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it.
Ooh.
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out.
Yeah, I mean, Georgie's not really. Like, she's mostly connected to the story through John in, like, season 3 when he's on the run.
Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Fair enough. Georgie is
You
very
not.
cool.
There's more for us
And
to do,
deserves it.
and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Is John in your little AU at all, or did you just say, away with you? You know what?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you. and you shouldn't do it.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay.
In a sense,
Interesting.
we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
You know, one Jonathan Sim gave me a raw deal. The other one sure did not
If
do
we
the same thing.
die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Sick.
Pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you
Ooh.
die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Of course, Jerry. Of course, Jerry. What's this comment in the parentheses? I'm doubtful. I'm doubtful of your claims. Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I suppose I can believe that. I like this option.
By tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again.
A third Jonathan Sims?
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Tim and Martin just doing other random shit at the Institute. So many Jonathan Sims. I wonder how many I can get.
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Artifact storage. The most timid little man in the world.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Sure.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
No, that's crazy.
Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too. Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
It felt like they
What do you
didn't.
mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started.
Georgie is still a
That sounds pretty
podcast.
consequence-free to me.
Some things never change.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself?
Fair.
Or were you instead transported to a different
Instead of
world?
just squatting unofficially.
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that
Occasionally
nasty
involved
trick
in
you
the
pulled on
podcast
us,
for comedy, maybe.
maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying.
Whoa, Jonathan Sims on Jonathan Sims violence.
Just stay focused, will you?
Does this just bring up the old
Just
options?
be quick about it.
Yeah, I'm curious about this one, you know?
That's a good
I'm
point.
curious.
How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round. Yes, maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now we get to go through the whole charade again, wholly aware of what's waiting for us at the end.
Tim gets not them'd. As in, he doesn't die, or...
But that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. We did kill her, after all.
Maybe I need to re-listen to the Magnus Archives.
You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be here. And let me assure you, killing her will not end the world. I don't know what you think happened to you last time, but it's a load of nonsense. You'll get your happy ending. I promise.
I see. Okay, Tim gets replaced. Interesting.
Well, that's exactly what we're afraid
Bullying Tim, the sad man.
of. Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin awaits.
Damn, Jonathan Sims. Yeah, I'm not too
Right,
curious.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Letter of resignation. Yeah, I don't work here. I am, in fact, the distortion. Goodbye.
She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin
A
is
mirror.
cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Classic. You gotta have a skeptic.
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time.
Can y'all talk about the mirror?
Like I've been saying, she's dead.
The mirror.
We killed her already.
The mirror. Thank you.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's
Trying
a
to
mirror?
lie to me.
Let's just go into the basement and find her body, so we can be done with this. As do I. I'm not lying
Me,
to
when it
you.
turns out all
Close your
these
eyes.
freaky
There is
monsters
no
are real.
Why would I lie
Ah,
about
shit.
something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done? Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous second life proposition. You haven't
I
died.
see.
You've certainly
You're heavily
already
influenced
slain
by
the
that one
princess.
animatic, making it canon.
So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
I want to look at the
You
mirror.
walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you could type the whole thing from memory. I believe that.
But it was there a second ago.
Oh
And
man, I'm
now
being
it's gone.
tricked.
Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Most of it. I'm just going down there. I don't need the knife this time.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
I don't recall disagreeing. I just recall pointing out perhaps why you might have made that choice.
The room below is silent.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see.
Walking
As you
in.
descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick
Yeah, fair
chain.
enough. The Jerry rights and wrongs are
Okay.
fair.
She's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Ooh.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
So you're like kind of like he ditches home before all the before he gets too deep into that. Even worse of it. Okay, that's funnier actually.
Ghost!
But she's still chained up.
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost
Hey, you.
supposed to
Jerry
do to
leaves
us?
home.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
I wonder what they could be.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy
Dies in
fingertips send
quotation
shivers
marks.
dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. We could probably grab her and kill her again, if we wanted to.
Sad Jonathan Sims. Yeah, let's see how things play out this time. It's fair. I mean, given everything he might have known about the Institute.
I see you don't have that annoying knife anymore.
That's not good.
So, does that mean you regret what you've done? Are you here to apologize and make nice? Beg for absolution, maybe?
Beg for absolution. He doesn't even know his dad. Interesting choice.
Because I might be interested in seeing a little begging.
I think I see why the Tumblerinas like this game so much. I have a lot of options. That's pretty good. Purely spite
You
driven.
don't look dead, killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you
The
please,
classics of
can't
writing.
you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you owe me.
No plot, just
Absolutely
vibes and
not.
vague ideas.
Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in,
Because
there's very
silly.
little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face
Ooh,
to
I like
face
this
with
idea now.
him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
How many say? Ooh, yeah, we got plenty of pages.
If I'm able to, but for all we know, that's not how it works.
She makes a
Maybe
fair
I'll
point.
wind up stuck with you for a long, 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 long time.
Ooh, a package was delivered. I'll have to get that at some point.
Don't much like the sound of that. It's crowded enough in here as is. It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
Daisy looking at Michael Schelling being like, yeah, that's the one who killed this old man.
That is a very dangerous train of thought.
For reasons. Yeah, let her in.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
I crocheted Gertrude a jumper. Why would I kill her? A fair question.
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Michael talking to Lightner, Jerry busting in, leaving, coming back with a crowbar, and killing Lightner in front of Michael. I mean, what are you gonna do? The kid needs to work out some issues.
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
More Jonathan Sims?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass,
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? Me is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight.
Sometimes you
Well,
just
yeah,
gotta
you
add
soon.
angst.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
He can already hold a good amount, which means he could probably hold more.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
That is kind of rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
I never actually played the Stanley Parable. Mostly because I just didn't. I do know the vibe. And I'm kind of getting that sense, yeah. I haven't. I don't know, I guess I missed the hype.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic,
I'll think about
and
playing it.
all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
It's okay. We're almost out of here. Just take it one step at a time, and everything will be fine.
Everything.
That's
won't
why
be
you have
fine
the
if
notebook, so you
listen
don't
to
have to
her.
forget it all. You can just have it in the notebook.
One way or another.
That's
this
how I
is
do
all going
stuff.
to end.
Make some
Wouldn't
notes,
it be nice
forget
if
where I put
he
them,
ends with it?
and then forget I ever made those notes.
Wouldn't that be nice? There's only one way to find out.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do.
Ah,
Well,
I'm gonna. My guess,
if she has a home to go back
the
to,
narrator
doesn't that mean that her
is
leaving won't end
like
the
the
world?
original one, and he's, I don't know, he ended the world through some stupid shit.
It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is...
And now he's over here
It's
like it's
outside
gonna
of
end
the
the world.
world.
Stop doing it. It's my 50-minute
Yeah,
prediction.
but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
Makes a good point, voice of the hero.
I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another?
An OC
Or
of
is it
yours?
the same world reborn?
A spiral avatar? Shocking.
Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able.
Sheesh.
It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
You're so understanding of all this supernatural stuff and all the illegal things I've been doing. And then they just cut to them trapping somebody in the doors, being like, yeah, totally. It's chill with what you're going through.
And wine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
Nah, I'm in it to win it, man.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging
Mirrors,
across
not
the
doors,
floorboards,
like a fun
growing
house,
heavier
okay.
with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhausted.
I got the
really
vibe.
best you could
I got the
muster up?
vision.
It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next. Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. Collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
Dang.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or...
They get the vibe. They read the
we
fanfiction.
never being part of the world.
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Picked up a passenger and take her to her destination. Achievement unlocked. No narration. This is not a human person, Michael. Just because my friend is weird doesn't mean you can be rude.
Oh, you actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, killer.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
Ah. Cool. Hands.
She's gone. Where did she go?
The perfect line.
Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
I think that's a pretty nice
Don't bother
mirror.
looking for her. I'm sure it's just a waste of time. There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. Ignore him.
Oh.
You have to look. He is. Does that mean the world ended?
The broken glass
He
from
was
the
never
mirror.
going to outlast us. I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Jerry is so incredibly autism. It's you, the body. Whoa. Hey girl.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Thank you for saying it.
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
I didn't say anything opposed. I was just saying thank you for saying it.
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond.
It's true.
Perspectives to make my own.
How else would anyone else who pops in for a second know to listen to the Magnus Archives?
This one is vaporous. She is a dream for a life she could never have. But that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for an understanding heart.
But what if he really needs the statement, you know? Bones, you can replace those.
Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
A good point.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I know only that they are. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Listen, not everyone can be as foolish as Jonathan Sims, ripping out some of his own bones just for some stuff.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us.
My OC
and
steals
that we
body
are meant to
parts.
reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own.
Important
way home.
info, strange out of context, yes.
Everything, until we meet again. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
The incredibly long context. Fair enough, you don't have to give it.
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Fair. What happens?
If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
Hey, sometimes you forget
Close
character
that
names.
box.
It happens.
Will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
The princess is kind of ... The game closed. That's pretty sick, actually. Pulling an Undertale move. There's 97 achievements for this game.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Damn. Alright. I am very interested in this kind of narrative.
She asks
Nothing
that I
wrong
tell
with
you
that.
To remember her. You won't.
Damn, actually, this game's onto it. It being my favorite.
You're on a path in the woods.
Alright, now
and
I
at the
have
end of-
the text skip option. Okay, that means all this text I've done before. Okay. Oh no, he steals bones. Fair enough. Okay, I am getting hungry, so I'm going to save here. And let's see, I won't be back tomorrow because I'm going to my sister's circus show. But I might try and stream again Saturday or Sunday. Jared didn't really have a motivation. He kind of did just steal bones and shit. Main menu. Yes. This game's pretty interesting. I guess, yeah, there was all those different stories of him, like the gym, and then the corpse garden at the end. The Mortal Garden. It's a cool concept. Given my recent schedule, I will not make any kind of commitment to another stream happening this week, but I will try. Mostly because I want to play more of this game. Oh, she's doing spooky stuff. I bet. The way they were described was cool. Like, there were parts of the final season that were okay, and then there were parts that were cool. And that was one of the cool parts. Oh, outside. Very fun to hide faces in the flowers. But yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for sharing the details of the AU. Have a good rest of the week, or until whenever. Bye-bye.